Here at Marriage IQ, we are saving civilization one marriage at a time.
It makes me feel like I'm the one to blame. I'm the one who's crazy.
And I'm not trying to say that women shouldn't be heard at all. Like, that is not what I am saying. Women should be heard. Good people are not always good. Intentional people are not always intentional. Honest people are not always honest.
The whole mountains were yellow, bright yellow with the fall leaves.
There's no guardrails sometimes. And there's like these big cliffs. I'm thinking, are we in America?
Welcome to Marriage IQ, the podcast helping you become an intelligent spouse.
I'm Heidi Hastings.
And I'm Scott Hastings.
We are two doctors, two researchers, two spouses, two lovers, and two incredibly different human beings coming together for one purpose: to change the stinky parts of your marriage into scintillating ones, using intelligence mixed with a little fun.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Marriage IQ and the Hastings Institute for Advanced Marital Studies. Today, here at Marriage IQ, we are saving civilization one marriage at a time. That is our goal. We hope that you are coming back again and again to listen to us. And speaking of listening, my dear.
Yes?
We are giving away free dinner on us, on Marriage IQ. That's right.
Free date nights.
All you have to do is sign up, go to marriageiq.com, sign up to get the weekly tips and to subscribe to the
weekly tips email.
The weekly tips email. Put your email in there. Get your spouse to put their email in there. That way you get 2 entries. You double your chances of getting date night on the Hastings.
Yeah.
So don't wait. Do it now.
We will announce the winners on the 28th of November.
We are having a real talk.
Today.
Yes.
That means we're going
off the cuff,
unprepared, unscripted, and just going to discuss some interesting happenings.
You came across a reel, right?
Yeah. A friend of mine sent me a reel today from Instagram. And it was this beautiful older woman. It was all in black and white, which made it even more intense and
more special.
She's talking about how it's so hurtful to a woman when she gets up the courage to talk to her husband about something that he does every day that's hurtful to her. And his response is not empathy. It's not compassion. It's not understanding, which is what she was seeking for. But instead, it's anger and blame, and
kind of putting it back on her, right?
Puts it right back on her. And so she said something like, it makes me feel like I'm the one to blame. I'm the one who's crazy. And she just
wants to be heard and understood.
She goes on to say that then when that's the case, she silences herself and just doesn't use her voice anymore, learns that she can't express the way she feels or what is hurtful to her. And
does this happen?
I think it probably is pretty common. I wanted to get your take on that.
I think it happens. Absolutely happens. And to those men who do that, I don't know. Am I one of them?
I don't think typically, no.
Okay.
But
because I don't want to just
I think it's a pattern.
Is
Probably
it a man problem?
And it could be, but it could be for women also. But also, it may not be in exactly like same recipe in a way, but different elements change out a little bit.
So you think women have their own version of giving it back to the guy?
Well, possibly. But what I was thinking of more instead is that when a woman tells her husband something that she's trying to express hurts her or makes her feel like she's not enough or whatever it is, and I'll come back to that word makes her in just a minute, he may not respond with anger. He may respond with feeling attacked. And so he just gets defensive.
So you're saying that maybe the woman might be misinterpreting what the guy's saying. She's taking it as he is being completely dominant, domineering.
Yes, I think she thinks he's being completely domineering and that she has no space to speak for herself, to use her voice. But I'm not saying she's misinterpreting totally. That's not totally what I'm saying. I guess the part that I have more of an issue with is that his discomfort with what she's saying causes her to close down. Because to me, she's giving up her agency and she's not allowing him to sit in discomfort. She feels like she's responsible for his discomfort, so she better shut up.
So in other words, what you're saying is that relationships aren't 30-second sound bites
That's right.
that make it sound like all men are terrible and all women are
Victim.
pristine, victims.
Well, yeah. And you also look at it. How did she lay this all out for him?
Because I could see if you want to get a lot of likes and clicks and things, you put something out that's very simple, very
Yeah, I felt that
one-sided.
way.
Yeah, very one-sided. In reality, I think what we're trying to say here is life is a lot messier than these 30-second sound bites about. And I'm not trying to say that women shouldn't be heard at all. Like, that is not what I am saying. Women should be heard.
And I'm not either saying that she was wrong in feeling that way. I can see why she felt that way. She had the expectations for one response that was very generous, and what she got was anything but generous.
And that happens. That does happen.
Yep.
I think what we have found through our scientific research and through just experience in life together as a married couple, you and your professional life, me and my professional life, that life is really messy and you can't put it on a 30-second soundbite and get millions of views.
Right.
So
he may have been a narcissist. If
he
he was a
may have been.
narcissist, all of that is probably true all of the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But I also have felt that sometimes, and you are not a narcissist.
Well,
So-
here's the thing, though, Heidi, and this is what makes it a little bit more complex, is that I have narcissistic traits. We all do, all of us.
Okay.
But most of the time, it does not rise above the threshold of being pathologic. Now,
Okay.
when you're talking about narcissism, there's a threshold where it's crossed
Are
clinically.
you close to that?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
I don't think you're close to that.
I hate the idea of narcissism. I hate it. And I want to move away from that as intentionally and purposefully as possible.
While at the same time admitting that, yeah, sometimes we all have
But
parts
sometimes
of that in us.
it happens.
And people who are narcissists don't ask for it. It does make it hard to live with,
It does.
but they don't ask
You're
for
right. I think most of the time they don't ask for it. I
Right.
think most of the time, the vast majority of the time, we do not ask for the neuroses that we are given at
That's right.
birth.
That's right.
Neuroses can be personality challenges, disorders, if you will.
Yeah.
And we all have them.
Yeah.
It's just
Well-
some more than others.
And it was so sad seeing this old lady. She's probably been experiencing this for 50, 60 years, which tells me when I'm watching that, if I don't do something right now,
You're
this is
gonna
going to be me.
You're going to
at
be
50
the
or
sad old
60
lady sitting on her rocker.
who's silenced myself the entire marriage and never been able to say anything to you
you got?
without you making me feel like it's all my fault.
She did get a lot of views, though.
She did. And actually looking further into the reel, the link was quite manipulative.
That's marketing, my
It was
love.
actually a man who
Look
had
at
marketed-
what we're up against.
It's a man's thing, very manipulative video trying to get you to purchase his thing.
A
whatever
woman
it is.
trying to get women to purchase
Yes.
the video
Yeah.
so that they can attract
buy
and
the
keep their
program
man.
to know how to
Yes.
how to do it. So with all of that said, we do acknowledge that women, including myself, have felt that way sometimes, and we're going to share with you our own example with how that went down, but let you have both sides of the story so you can make some of that judgment call for yourself.
But first, my love, I think it's important to discuss and bring out the idea that good people are not always good.
Yep,
Remember this.
that's me.
Good people are not always good. Intentional people are not always intentional. Honest people are not always honest. You get my point.
Yep.
It is a lifetime of learning and growing. And sometimes it'll be up and down and up and down. But if
Yep.
you stand back after a period of time and you look at the trend graph, and you say, whoa, okay, so we are getting better. Things are getting better. It may not seem like it yesterday when we had our, blow up or whatever. But if you look at the trend lines, get
Yep.
scientific about it.
And if we're constantly repairing instead of hanging on to conflict for long periods of time, if we let ourselves kind of cool down, become more emotionally stable, and then talk about it again later and keep repairing, to me, that's what makes a successful marriage.
Indeed. So we're going to talk to you about our last marriage retreat.
And as you know, we talk about marriage retreats from time to time on here. It's our quarterly getaway, usually locally here in Dallas to a hotel or an Airbnb, but every once in a while we'll go somewhere else on vacation to do it. We spend time talking about our shared vision, our goals, our mission statement, our actions and plans for the next quarter in the areas of our marriage, parenting, work, home, our spiritual life, our sexual life, all of those areas. Maybe
It's like a
others.
corporate board meeting for a marriage. We have been accused of having a corporate marriage. And that is a badge of honor.
That's right. We think it's what helps our marriage be scintillating. So
But
with that background,
Not everything was wonderful on this marriage
no,
retreat.
it wasn't.
So wait a minute, Dr. Hastings. You guys teach this stuff. You are marriage retreat experts. Could we consider ourselves marriage retreat experts?
I think so. We've been doing it for
I can't think of anyone else
15 years,
who's doing
10,
this. Yeah,
12,
I don't
15
know.
years. I don't know.
So we're going to consider ourselves experts at marriage retreats
Yeah.
that we are teaching you about. But we did not marriage retreat very well. Kind of like going back to good people
Actually,
are not always good.
Okay, so it was a 3-day retreat this time. And because I love the mountains so much, and I had really had a hard couple of months before that, we went to the mountains for some solace, for some just going home, it felt like.
Well,
And most of our time there in Colorado was fantastic.
yeah, it was good most of the time. I was very excited because we're going to Colorado. We're going to go hiking the mountains. And I know you love mountains.
Went up to Vail.
And I love to make you happy.
Thank you, honey.
And no, I love mountains too, but I really know you love mountains.
Well, and it was extra special because it was your birthday. And when we got there, we had no idea this would happen. But when we got there, the whole mountains were yellow, bright yellow with the fall leaves.
Oh my gosh, the aspen trees.
Yeah, that had happened a couple of weeks earlier than normal,
We were
I
not
think.
planning on that.
And it was just this
We
major
showed up.
gift.
It was like, holy cow, this is beautiful.
Beyond our wildest expectations.
Stayed in a nice hotel.
Mhm.
And we went out to this great restaurant. Vail is really cool, by the way.
Mhm. Off season,
nice.
it wasn't too expensive.
Yeah, it was a little bit off
so-
season. It was just splendid. Food was fantastic. And then, I don't know, how did it start?
Well, the next day we had some rather disturbing news off the bat. There had been a shooting at a congregation of our church in Michigan. Several people killed,
And a fire
and
burned the church down.
the building set on fire. And so both of us were rather in a state of some distress, I think.
Mhm.
Probably. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of felt, I think, reactive. I was
Yes.
reactive that day.
Yeah, pretty
So-
reactive to that.
But notice, folks, we're doing a little autopsy here. We're just going back and looking what happened, right? Oh, yeah. This event happened.
Check out our autopsy
And
episode.
I became reactive because of that. Anyway, go
So
on.
we decided to go on a drive several hours, recommended by someone, to see some of the most beautiful leaves turning beautiful colors in the mountains. And so we It was about a 3-4 hour drive. And I thought, wow, this is a really good experience. This is a really great opportunity to take this little chunk of time and talk to Scott about something that's really important to me, really a special experience, something near and dear to my heart, and open myself up vulnerably, pull him in vulnerably. And I had some pretty great expectations of how that would go. And
What were some surrounding variables?
so at some point on the drive, roads were a little bit windy. He was probably still a little bit reactive from the news that we'd gotten just a little bit before that. It started to rain eventually.
Yes.
Before it
pretty
started
cloudy,
to rain, it was
pretty
very
gray,
cloudy.
very gray.
Yeah.
Right. Do we like gray days?
We have a hard time with gray days.
So
I
to verifiably
yeah, we
diagnose seasonal affective disorder.
yep,
I mean, that's part of the autopsy, right?
yep. But
It's
I
like neither one of us
didn't
do
think
well
about
with
it.
gray, but we didn't think about it in the moment
right.
because you're, reactive, right? You're just living in the moment. You're not thinking with that thinking part of your brain.
Right. So I felt a little dismissed when I was trying to talk about this and he's not really responding. His responses are kind of curt. I felt like he didn't care to have deep spiritual conversations with me. I felt that he likes to talk about things he likes to talk about, but doesn't think about things I like to talk about. Those were the stories I was telling myself. And guess what that did to my emotions?
Well,
Made me kind of sad.
I don't like to guess. I think that's the right answer. I am not guessing. I am asking you.
I did feel in control of my emotions. I was sad. I felt dismissed, but I wasn't angry. I wasn't mad. So we'll start from there. I think going back to the old woman in the Instagram video,
You felt like her.
She had tried to explain, some things, tried to tell some things.
And your narcissistic husband.
No. Ignored me.
That's right.
You weren't angry. You didn't yell at me, turn around and put it on me. Not at that point.
But I do only care about myself. You said so, right?
That was the way I interpreted it. So we keep going. We
That
get
could
to
be
the
true.
top of the mountain and it's cold and blistery. We get to what was Independence Point or
Pass.
Independence Pass. That's it. We decided let's drive over to Aspen. We've never been there before. The road between Independence Pass and Aspen was extremely narrow and sometimes only one lane and a
Stressful.
long drop down. And Scott really, really hates that kind of driving.
Stressful.
So we got
With
partway.
rain.
We got to Aspen. Things were closed down and we had two choices. Do we go back the way we came, which I wanted to do because it was so beautiful, or do we take the faster route home, all on freeway, not on scary roads? And I volunteered to drive. So you can tell what happened next.
Well, I didn't want to go back over those roads because they were quite nerve-wracking. And I don't like heights. And this road, if you've ever driven, and the people out there who've driven these roads between Aspen and Vail, like there's no guardrails sometimes. And there's like these big cliffs. I'm thinking, are we in America? Like what's going on here? There are no like guardrails there. I don't really like that. Right. So I'm pretty stressed with that too.
And I again felt like I wasn't heard.
Yeah. And I felt,
volunteered to drive.
well, but you said, okay, drive. So you were like the old lady on the reel.
Silenced myself.
Yep. You felt silenced and you told yourself, it was kind of a self-fulfilling thing, right? It's like, I'm silencing you. And so you're going to shut down and let me have my way, my narcissistic way.
But you kind of exploded.
Well, I was, at some point, I felt kind of trapped.
Yep.
Like you're painting me in this box. Like
That's a judgment, but you're doing the same thing, right? As we're both telling ourselves stories about, I can't speak. We're both feeling trapped. Like,
yeah. So I'm saying that I'm being put into this box that I can't get out of. It's like I've already done this thing in the past. Therefore, that now defines me for the entirety of my life. And I reacted very negatively to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it did not go well, even though it
Mm-hmm.
should have gone well because it was beautiful trees. But I mean, here's the thing, you know, we did later, we kind of came back, right? After the next day, before we left, we came up with some good stuff, right?
Well, we were there a couple of more days. And I think the next day we went hiking. Well, that night we tried to repair, but it was still pretty,
Still pretty
there was still
raw.
space. It felt like there was space between us still. And then the next day we went hiking several miles. That was wonderful. I thought things were better, but they weren't better for you.
So, I mean, when you're in a relationship, you have to take on risk. If it's all comfort, you're not going to get anywhere, right? We discussed this ad nauseum in all of our other episodes. So there has to be risk. But when you take the risk and it fails, it hurts.
Yeah, like the lady.
It stings. It sucks.
Mhm.
Actually, it really stinks. And those are real raw emotions and feelings, and they're very valid on both sides. I mean, you have to acknowledge they're there. And some people say, well, I'm not going to take this risk anymore. But
And you're giving up your
You
personal
have to.
power.
you have to take the risk if you want that reward. There's no other way around it. We took the risk, at least personally, and
Well,
it burned. It burned for a while.
Yeah. And I think we had a couple of hour drive back to Denver to catch our flight the last day. And I just said, I just want to approach this again. We've had a couple of days to sit on it, to think about it. And I just want to understand your perspective again. I just want to re-look at what was the big, huge trigger, because your response was not common.
Well, and before you go further, I think it's important. Like it is when we go to sleep, when we get sleep, we wake up, things are different. There are different hormones flowing. There are different chemicals in the body flowing.
We've had rest.
The brain is in a different state. And sometimes you just need that break without resolution. And you come at it at another time.
Well,
and sometimes that
resolved a little
resolution
bit.
can be, maybe it's only 20 minutes, but sometimes it might be overnight, sometimes a little longer. But the intention, though, is to always come back. There's always that knowledge in our relationship that we will come back and talk about it.
Right.
I think that's big, because if you don't have that security of knowing we're going to come back and talk about it, then it can start feeling a little scary.
Yeah. So we did that on our way back to the airport, and I feel like it went really well. You were in a way better place. I was able to slow myself down and not tell myself stories about my expectations that hadn't been met, that were not totally true. I did some mind reading there, which when we talk about distorted thought patterns, that's one of them, mind reading. So I'd done some mind reading. I admitted to that. We talked it through, but we didn't stop there. We didn't stop with just understanding. What else did we do?
We made some rules. We talked through, we did the autopsy. We said, just the facts, ma'am, just like we discussed now about all the variables that came into this explosion, really.
Yeah, trying generously to see the situation from the other person's
But
perspective.
yeah, just a more neutral approach. And then we said, okay, how can we keep this from happening again? What are some things that we can do that we've learned from this now? And one of the rules we came up with is a rainy day protocol.
Which we got that term from one of my friends who really struggles with that. But
Seasonal affective disorder,
yeah,
right?
but we hadn't applied it to marriage.
So yeah, this rainy day protocol on marriage retreats, or really any time. And one of the rainy day protocols is that we don't try to talk about something
Really serious.
really, really important to us while it's gloomy and gray and rainy outside.
So that means even when we are doing our marriage retreat, if it happens to be rainy, we go inside and find a place with lots of light.
Lots of light, and we play games.
And we make it fun. We can still do the marriage retreat to
Hot chocolate
stuff to some extent, but we alter it and make it
Games.
less serious stuff that we're diving
You
into.
can always come back to the serious thing.
Yeah.
What else did we
We
come away
made
with?
one other rule that I remember, and that was if I have something to say to Scott and I feel like he's not listening,
Well, something
or even
really
before,
important to you.
before I say it, something that I've been thinking about, it's very personal, deep to me. I want it to be a deep conversation. I need to preface it
Yes.
and tell him, even if you're
Scott.
driving, I am talking to you about something that's really important, and I really want to make sure I have your undivided attention.
I love it. I love it. This is wonderful. See? Like,
Makes all the
if
difference.
it's important to you, like really important, you formalize it. Say, okay, let's square up here. And if it's in the car, we can't square up, obviously, because I'm driving. But at least I'm prefaced. I'm prepared. I'm in the know so that my brain can be fully engaged intentionally with what you're about to tell me that's so important to you.
Okay, that's
So-
good. So if I was the old woman and you were my husband, how would this go down then with those rules in place?
Well,
If she wants to tell him this thing that you do, whether it's that he's ignoring her, whether it's that he's more married to his job than he is, I don't know, he's retired, I'm sure by then. So who knows? But whatever it is, how would that happen?
I think
How
that
could she start the conversation?
I think the conversation with the old woman needs to come from two emotionally intelligent points of view, from the women and the men. The woman, she needs to be externally aware and like what kind of days he had, stressful at work.
He's retired.
Oh, he's retired. Okay.
I'm guessing unless she's a cougar.
I don't know. I mean, just to be aware of what's going on in his immediate space,
Okay.
right? And recognizing that, just recognizing it.
Okay, then what's next?
I don't know. You seem to think that there's
Would
a
it be
linear
helpful-
pattern.
Well,
here,
would it
but
be helpful for her to say something about, I want to talk to you about something really important to me?
Yeah,
What would be a way that she could say that would be not hurtful?
just come to him and say, "Hey, do you have a minute? I have something very important I'd like to discuss with you."
Okay.
And then sit close to him.
And then how can she say it in a way that would not cause him to feel attacked?
Well, I kind of like Jeremy Horowitz, the spy guy, right? He says, use your FM DJ voice, right?
Okay.
That's kind of the low, just
Slow and
low, not
Agitated.
really, hyper, just calm, mellow. This is how we're going to talk.
Yeah.
Slow it down, low it down.
Okay. And then how about I statements? Would that be helpful?
So if you're wanting to bring up something that
She's talking to him about something he does every day that hurts her.
that hurts her. Okay.
Maybe
So we can start with the dear man, right? When you do this, when you ignore me at breakfast, I feel ignored. Or when you don't respond to me at breakfast, I feel ignored. The story I tell myself is that you don't love me, that you'd rather be on your laptop.
What if it's something more egregious that he's doing to hurt her?
I think you could still use the same thing.
Okay. And is it helpful if she's speaking from not you do this and this and this, but this is
My experience. I'm just sharing it with you.
And it really hurts.
And so I think the
And
other, Yeah.
can you say I'm looking for empathy? Can you say I want you to understand? Or that language
I think
isn't going to be helpful?
if you approach it that way, empathy can most naturally occur from the guy.
Okay.
Like he doesn't have to pull for it. He doesn't have to reach in for it. When you set up the stage where it's that empathy can be reached very simply by the guy, that's great. You've done your job. It's the same thing for me, because I've got the story I'm telling myself too about you that may or may not be true. And so if I can set you up for success at showing empathy by speaking in non-judgmental language, using I feel statements.
Okay, so I'm the old lady. You're my husband. I've just told you in an FM DJ voice that something you do really hurts me. I want you to understand what you're doing is hurting me. Instead of you attacking and shutting me down, at least that's my perspective, what's a way that you could respond to me?
Oh, so
if
you might be a little emotionally triggered.
Yeah.
What can I do to
Emotionally
calm things
triggered?
down? Well, I can talk to you in my FM DJ voice.
Okay, what else?
And say, let's talk about it.
Like, let's talk about it from, I'm a lawyer and we're looking at all the evidence and nope, you're not right. Like that kind of talk about it?
I could say, tell me how you feel.
Yes. Tell me more.
And not expect for you to listen to my side. Right now, I'm
Not
just
at that
listening
point.
to you.
Not at that point.
But that's a really, really, really high level maturity. That's really high level, especially if you're coming at me as a woman with pretty pointed at language. I mean, it is going to take some high level work if I'm the guy. I'm just being honest. That's why this old lady on the reel, like, it's so much more complex than what she's saying, folks. I hate to break it to you. But it's something that we practice, though. Like if you're coming at me and I feel defensive, which is my favorite thing to do is feel defensive.
And mine is being critical.
Then
not a good attribute.
It's
have to
okay.
catch ourselves
How
on
do
both of them.
Right. How do I decompress this? How do I diffuse this in a way where I know we want to get to repair, because we always do eventually. But I know why have it start. So I'm working on being less defensive.
I'm working on being less critical.
And using the tools that you learn here on Marriage IQ. It's worth it. Your relationship's worth it, right?
Yeah. With that, everybody, we hope you have a wonderful week and we'll catch you on another exciting episode of
Marriage IQ.